The glittering lights of Las Vegas call out to more than just millions of tourists every single year. Hundreds of performers make their way to the valley each year to entertain and delight audiences. But locals like you and I know great performances aren't just restricted to the Strip. Welcome to a special edition of How to Vegas. I'm Kalina Estrinos. Over the next half hour, we'll showcase some of the brightest stars in town through our weekly segments we call Vegas Spotlight. Sit back and enjoy the show. In the mood for some classical music and classical performances? Well, UNLV has you covered. Meet Taras Krysa, Director of Orchestras at UNLV. He'll tell you about his unique path from Ukraine to Las Vegas and share how best to experience UNLV Orchestra and Las Vegas performances year-round.
Hello, my name is Taras Krysa. I'm serving as the Director of Orchestras at UNLV. And I am also serving as the Artistic Director of Las Vegas Sinfonietta. What we do at UNLV, I'm conducting a full symphony orchestra and chamber orchestra. We perform up to 6 performances per semester. The Las Vegas Sinfonietta, that's the ensemble I direct here, and it was created during the COVID years as we were all shut down and sitting in front of our computers. A group of musicians, including myself, decided to create something and to have an opportunity to perform. And it was very difficult at the time because of the restrictions and everything. I started as a violinist because my parents started me as a violinist. I grew up in the family of musicians, so I sort of did not have a choice. It was implied before I was born that I was going to be a musician. My father is Ukrainian, my mother was Russian, and then we came to America, and since then I've been all over the Europe, many Asian countries, and in many ways I consider myself blessed. I had all these opportunities, all these musical experiences. In Las Vegas, I played, I think, with everything. I played with Las Vegas Philharmonic. I played with Henderson Symphony. I've played with some occasional shows that comes into town of Barbara Streisand, Eagles, you name it, Earth, Wind and Fire. That's stuck in my mind. I played with Showstoppers. I played with so many other wonderful artists, and it's a shame I can't even remember. You come and you open your mind, open your ears, you close your eyes, and you take yourself on a wonderful journey. It's difficult to describe the power of music because it's such a many-dimensional art which speaks directly to your heart, to your mind, without the actual language. Not only UNLV, but Las Vegas Sinfonietta and many other classical music performances, because there's more of it right now offered in the community, and we all need your support and coming and supporting us, and just letting other people know, yes, we do exist. We have a product of the highest caliber, and so hope to see you.
He's been referred to as the greatest living comic magician of all time, and he's right here in Las Vegas. Get to know Matt King, who's been performing in Las Vegas for 22 years.
Howdy, I'm Matt King. I'm star of the Matt King Comedy Magic Show here at Excalibur in the Thunderland showroom in the afternoon. That means I don't take my clothes off. I started here in the late 1990s, and I've been here in town with my own show since 1998. It's crazy.
And we absolutely love you, Matt King, as a friend and as the greatest comedy magician, at least alive today, maybe who ever lived.
It's hard to say what children like. I'm very proud, though, that my show does seem to appeal to 8-year-olds as well as 88-year-olds, and even more difficult, 18-year-olds seem to like it too. There's a lot of innuendo. I mean, it's not a kid's show. It's designed for adults, but families really like it. It's like watching The Simpsons, really, I feel like. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes over kids' heads that adults really get. My favorite trick, man, I don't know, it's hard to say. It's like picking your favorite kid. You know, I mean, they're all, you know, I've lived with them all my life, you know, worked on them and nurtured them and tried to bring them to life for people. I don't know, kind of the latest one. Whatever I'm working on at the latest is my favorite. You know, it's funny. There's like 2 or 3 audience favorites. Cloak of Invisibility, very popular, where I render myself invisible with a yellow raincoat. Catching live goldfish out of the air. A couple of times I have, you know, taken one of those tricks out. I get a lot of repeat customers, I'm really proud to say. And, you know, when any of those 3 tricks are not in the show, I hear about it later. A lot of people say that there are no cures for the hiccups, but I have invented the Matt King hiccup cure too. This really works. Get a big grocery bag and you put it over your head. Don't turn this off. Put the bag over your head and then you spin around till you're really dizzy. Oh yeah, your hiccups are gone. The only real advice I have for somebody who would like to be a comedy magician is to skip it and go to law school. And I've performed at the White House, I performed at the London Palladium, I performed on the Letterman Show on that NBC stage. You know, I would love to have my own Broadway show, but I don't feel like that's happening anytime soon. Shows are here in the afternoons at Excalibur, and tickets, you can go to theexcalibur.com and click on shows. I think that's how it works. You can certainly go to mattkingshow.com and click on get tickets there. And I hope I'll see you at the show at some point.
We'll be back with more of this How to Vegas special right after the break. Welcome back to this How to Vegas special. For more on things to do around the Valley, just visit ktmv.com/things to do. Jeff Savilico spent 10 years entertaining audiences on the Las Vegas Strip. Now he's expanding his horizons by entertaining companies and private functions while also doing his part to help the community. Hear more from him, how to get a hold of him, and his charitable side.
Hi, this is professional MC and entertainer Jeff Savilico here, coming at you from my home studio. I have headlined here in Las Vegas for 10 years. Now I spend my time performing for companies, for associations, for nonprofit groups, for private organizations, as well as working on the continued expansion of my nonprofit, Win-Win Entertainment. I have been making money as an entertainer since I was 7 years old. In fact, it's the only way I've ever made money. I used to do shows in my kitchen as a kid, performing for my grandmother, for my parents, my brothers, anybody who would watch me, really. And I remember I was in my early 20s and I felt like my act was at a place, it was like getting good enough to go to Vegas. You know what, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it now. This is when I need to pack it up in Orlando, where I was at the time, and move to Vegas. That was 2009. Yeah, I absolutely loved my time here on the Las Vegas Strip. People ask me if I miss it. Of course, I do miss it. There's always going to be that bug performing for live public shows. But there was a lot of other things I wanted to do. I love doing all sorts of different types of events. I love working on my nonprofit.
3.
A beautiful crowd from Justin. The Win-Win exists to bring smiles to kids who really need these smiles. They're in hospitals. and going through tough situations. So we arrange visits, shows from athletes, entertainers, celebrities, in person, of course, as well as now the last year and a half, virtually.
You guys have a product for that? Knowing this group, you're like, actually, we do.
So my act is clean comedy, so it's corporate safe, family friendly. I'm gonna put people in some really funny situations, get them on stage. It's super interactive. I have a love-hate relationship with juggling, to be honest. I owe juggling a lot. I juggle anything you can think of. I mean, all the dangerous stuff people love, fire, knives, chainsaws, all that. But probably my signature stunt is I balance a 14-foot ladder on my chin. I was put in a tough spot on cruise ships years ago. None of my luggage arrived, none of my props for my show. And there was a ladder backstage, and I could always balance smaller objects on my chin, as you know, as you do. And so that's always been something that I think is a highlight for people when they see the show. JeffCivilico.com is my website, and I'm at Jeff Civilico on all the socials. So feel free to reach out and say hello. I got to plug Win-Win Entertainment as well, my nonprofit. We're online, winwinentertainment.org, and we are at Win-Win Charity on all the socials.
We'll be back with more of this How to Vegas special right after the break.
I love coming up here at the end of my day. There is nothing as beautiful as a desert sunset. Just look at these colors and check out the view. That's why I know it is so important to have an accurate, reliable forecast so you and your family can get out and make the most of your day too. When it's not too windy, skies are clear, and the air quality is best. I'm tracking it all, and I'll show you what to expect.
Real weather from real people. Danny Beckstrom, part of the 13 First Alert Weather Team, only on 13 Action News. Every morning brings something new your way. The Strip, back open for business. Moms and dads returning to the office. And lots of places you can now be together. Good Morning Las Vegas helps you keep track of it all with in-depth coverage of what you missed overnight. More live reports out of the studio and into your neighborhood, and positive stories that will make you smile. Good Morning Las Vegas, for morning people like you. Weekdays 4:30 to 7.
If you look around, you'll find them.
Stories about people doing extraordinary things right here in our city.
We've persevered because we've counted on each other and we've worked together.
People helping others. Pitching in when someone else is down and needs a hand getting back up.
Getting a stuffed animal that'll make them feel like they're loved by other people.
Inspirational stories that'll make you laugh and smile.
We call these stories Positively Las Vegas.
Only on 13 Action News, and now streaming on your favorite device. 13 Action News' ZORA ASBERRY.
If there's one thing that I know, it's guiding drivers through traffic. Now, I may be new to town, but I'll make sure you have the smoothest route ahead. Count on me every morning. I'm checking roads, keeping an eye on all those trouble spots, showing you the best way to get around quickly and safely. If you're driving to work, school, or just running errands, I've got your back.
ZORA ASBERRY's Problem Solver Traffic on Good Morning Las Vegas, weekdays starting at 4:30.
Welcome back to this How to Vegas special. For more on things to do around the valley, just visit ktmv.com/things to do. Looking for a little Las Vegas flair, but you don't want to go through the hassle of getting tickets for a show? Well, I have a tip for you. Just grab a bar stool downtown at the D, Golden Gate, or Circa, and have the bartenders put on a show. Jared Johnston of the Bartender Flair team tells you what type of show he and his buddies put on when you go down for a drink downtown.
Hi, I'm Jared Johnson. I'm here with the Circa Flair team, downtown Las Vegas, also Golden Gate, also D. I actually moved here about 20 years ago, and I watched the guys flaring at the Rio, and I really wanted to be a part of it. It just seemed like a fun, engaging thing. So I moved out here with nothing in my pocket and started out on the bottom, changing trashes, worked my way up, practiced my butt off, and got a spot. I think maybe as a whole, the Flair community, I see us that way, absolutely. Like, we're here part of, like I said, that Vegas experience. Yeah, we're here to be a little piece of that puzzle. When you come to town and you're trying to do everything that you can, we're a part of that. We're definitely a part of the city. We're a part of that experience for you guys. I was injured. I was I was injured really bad back in California. I was paralyzed from the neck down for over a year, and I had to relearn how to walk, talk, eat, breathe, everything. But when I saw the guys like throwing the bottles and seeing how much everybody was engaged and loving it, coming from an entertainment background, I used to be a musician, I just wanted to be a part of that. So like when I saw that, I was like, I'll do anything to get in. So like I said, I started changing trashes at the Rio, working my way up and practicing 3-4 hours a day when I was younger, non-stop, just to get myself to that spot. It's a muscle memory thing where you have to do things over and over and over and over and just keep doing it until you get it down, just non-stop. So one thing you'll keep doing and you'll beat it to death. But there's practice bottles. They look like fiberglass. They look like regular bottles, but they're almost like a plastic feel. So you start out with those so you're not breaking a bunch of bottles, then you move on to glass when you get a little more comfortable. Lately I've been doing this fresh muddled lemons with Saint Germain elderflower liqueur. Any favorite whiskey together with that. Fill it with soda, splash of 7. It's a real nice balanced drink that you can drink pretty much all night if you can handle it. Over the course of my almost 20-year tenure doing this, I still find that having a new experience with somebody, the first time they've ever seen it, that's the best, right? The first time they've ever seen Flair, they've never seen it, their eyes are wide, they can't believe what they're seeing, and that's just such a good feeling to be able to give that to them, to take home to their families and be like, you won't believe what I saw in Vegas, it's so amazing. I love that moment. Anytime we have logos, especially like the D, the Golden Gate, Circa Las Vegas, like we absolutely adore our locals. We love that you live here and instead of going to anywhere else, you'll still come down and see us. Like I personally love having a local person I can sit there and chat with and talk about things they like, maybe things that they don't like, maybe things that we can work on, we can fix. I want you to know if you come down to Circa Las Vegas, this is like your local bar. You come down here, you get treated like family, no lie. We're not this big corporations like all the other casinos are. Come down here, we remember you, we know you, we want you here, and we're gonna do everything we can to make sure you have a good time and enjoy yourself.
We'll be back with more of this How to Vegas special right after the break. Welcome back to this How to Vegas special. For more on things to do around the valley, just visit ktmv.com/things to do. Want a little variety in your life? Hear from Stevie Mack, the man behind an Only in Vegas experience, Mr. Daddy's Cabaret, as he describes his unique show, which is filled with comedy, music, burlesque, circus acts, and can be experienced Tuesdays and Wednesdays at Mosaic on the Strip.
Mr. Daddy's Cabaret is definitely the definition of a Las Vegas show. I would say it's a sprinkle of every single show in Vegas combined into one. You got the comedy, you got the magic, you got the burlesque, you got the cirque, you got the aerial, you got outside of the box, you got the drag, there's literally something for everyone besides children. I'm Las Vegas local now. I've been in Las Vegas for 13 years now. I'm originally from Orlando, Florida. I started throwing events when I was 16, so that kind of got me into throwing events and the entertainment side of things. And I would book my friends and book myself because I do a Fire Boy show and I do a character stage performances as well. Me and my friend Tita got together. She's my executive producer, and we put together a proposal for him. We called like 16 of our entertainer friends because everyone's out of work. And we got 8 solid commitments, plus R2 actually, she does a snake charming act as well. So then we had 10 acts, we wrote the proposal, we ended up getting 2 more acts involved, and he said yes. My main focus is working on my stage show, my stage production, Mr. Daddy's Cabaret, where I'm one of the acts. Man in the Mirror is an act, it's an all glass mirror suit that I built, about 5,000 mirrors. I cut each one and shaved each one so it's not sharp. So people call me the mascot of Burning Man, I guess you could say, because my Man in the Mirror suit that I built it actually for an art installation for Burning Man. That was the original premise behind it. I've been 10 Burning Mans in a row. If you count the virtual burns, I've been to 11. I've been to 24 burns. As far as the regionals go, I produced the regional Burning Man event here called the Forgotten City with Damon T for 7 years in a row. Where haven't I performed now? I performed all over America, with Miami, Ultra, EDC, all the bigger festivals, stuff like that. I performed Mexico. I performed in the Bahamas once. I was all over Australia. I did a 12-week tour, 10 festival tour in Australia. Mr. Daddy's Cabaret is a whole entire cast of locals, all very passionate. All of us were out of work during the pandemic, and it's like such an amazing feeling for me to get all of these most talented people back on stage. So the show starts with, like I said, with me as Man in the Mirror, drag queen on stilts. We have a choreographed dance crew. We have a aerial chain act. We have Rudy Kobe the magician. We have the world's #1 beatboxer. We have an aerial pole act. We have an aerial shibari act. And just sprinkling the magic, sprinkling comedy and my comedy routine and stuff like that on top of everything. So it's really good. It's really good. We've done 6 shows so far. We outgrew the theater that we were in, and we're moving into a new theater in mid-fall. This is, to me, is the definition of what you want in Las Vegas. It's gritty, it's grimy, it's real, it's classy. You dress up to come see our show. It's all Las Vegas locals that have been practicing their acts forever and ever. It's not, you know, go to a show, it's like, oh, these guys from Poland, these guys from Russia, these guys from England, these guys, where's the guys from Vegas, baby? So that's what Mr. Daddy's bringing you, the real Las Vegas show. It's an 18+ show, yeah. The humor and everything, and just yeah, it's 18+ show for sure. The best way to look for us is on MrDaddyExperience.com, and you can go there to get all the updates with all of us. So that's the way to look for us.
If you're looking for a good laugh, it's not hard to find right here in Las Vegas. There are several comedy clubs around town that'll keep you in stitches. Las Vegas resident Michael Yo is a comedian, actor, and host, and he performs regularly at the world-famous Comedy Cellar over at the Rio Hotel and Casino. And Michael tells us how he got his start and what you can expect at one of his shows.
I'm Michael Yo. I'm a stand-up comedian, and I always perform at the Cellar in Las Vegas at the Rio. Well, I became a comedian because I was on this show called Chelsea Lately, and I was surrounded by comedians, and I was just a reporter for E at that time. And so many comedians, especially Joe Coy, he's my mentor in comedy, and he was like, you have such great family stories. You need to do stand-up.
She turns around. We make eye contact. I start ugly crying. I'm like, ah!
Comedy is all about what happens to me. I wouldn't say I'm an observational comedian. I talk about what happens in my real life. And my family is all types of colors. We're like the real modern family. You know, my mom's Asian, my dad's black, I'm Blasian, my wife is white, our kids are pandas, black, white, and Asian. Her parents are white, my parents, you know, so you got everything in one. But no matter if I'm talking about my Asian mom, there's somebody out there of a different race gonna be like, oh, his mom is just like my mom. You know, we all deal with the same problems. It's just I'm talking about my problems, and hopefully you can relate to them. And the funny moments that happen with kids. Right now I got a podcast called The Yo Show where I interview comedians right from the cellar, which is awesome. I'm acting, so I'm in a couple of projects I can't mention right now, but I'm very, very excited about. And just touring the country doing stand-up. I moved to Vegas last year in August. So things opened back up about 3 months ago. So I would say 3 to 4 months I've been performing in Vegas. And it's great because literally everybody in the country, in the world comes to Vegas to watch stand-up, and this club is so legendary. I've actually done shows in other cities, and people that have seen me here come out to those shows when I reach their city. So it's very cool. I want to perform in Australia, London, and for some reason, New Zealand. And of course, I want my mom to take me back to Korea because she promised me she was gonna take me to Korea when I was a kid. Never have, Mom. You never did it. I'm still waiting for you to take me to South Korea. That's right. I would love to perform out there. I think it'd be awesome. My best moment on stage, 2 times. 3 times in a row, I went after Seinfeld, which was an amazing feeling as a comic to go after somebody so legendary. And then in LA, I went after Bill Burr and Jim Jeffries, and that just blew me away too. I'm very passionate about breast cancer awareness. My mom has now beat breast cancer 3 times. 3 times. And I mean, she's amazing. She's an amazing woman, and I like to do events centered around breast cancer awareness. So that's my big cause because it's so close to me. As a stand-up comic and an actor, you know, you're gone from home a lot. So when I'm in town, I love them up all day, and then I come to the club at night, but phone's off, and it's all about family when I'm here. My son's 4, my daughter's 1, and my wife, you know, and that's what it's really all about. That's my passion, it's family. Okay, so if you want to see me in Las Vegas, I am always here at the Cellar. All you got to do is check out their schedule, thecomedycellar.com, and you can click on Las Vegas and see if I'm here that week. But if you want to follow me and know what I'm doing, everything on Instagram at Michael Yo. Everything is MichaelYo. The reason why I spelled out Y-O, because people try to spell it differently. They can't believe it's just Y-O. I've heard it had Y-O-E, Y-E-O, Y-E-O-A. No, it's just Yo. So Facebook, Instagram, everything at Michael Yo.
Thanks so much for watching Vegas Spotlight. It's all part of our How to Vegas weekly series. If you miss any part of this program, just hit the back button on your remote, scroll down until you see KTV digital exclusives. There you'll find this show and all of our dedicated streaming content. Stay tuned for more from 13 Action News after the break, and check us out anytime here on KTV Streaming, Las Vegas News on your time.